calls for Apple to ditch its latest AI after it makes up a news headline and gets it wrong. And will Americans buy British pizza? UK restaurant chain Pizza Express will open its first branches in Florida next year.
Justice at last for Gisèle Pellicot at the end of France's largest ever rape trial.
Je n'ai jamais regretté cette décision.
I've never regretted my decision to go public, she says, as her ex-husband is jailed for 20 years after a trial that has caused shockwaves across France. 50 other men are also found guilty. Most of them are jailed to Aboud as they're bundled out of court. We'll be looking at the impact that this trial has had in France and beyond, also tonight. Average water bills are going up in England and Wales by £86 next year. President Putin says he's ready for talks and compromise over Ukraine as he holds a marathon press conference in Moscow. Our Russia editor, Steve Rosenberg, is there. More than 100 dangerous dogs destroyed a month since a ban on XL bullies. Police say they need more cash. And the world's oldest choir, it's official, the care home residents who've set a Guinness World Record. Now, a rise in sea temperatures is bringing more and more species of marine wildlife to our coastlines that are not normally found around the UK. This is warty Doris, a sea slug who was found by volunteers and logged in the Wildlife Trust's annual marine review. And this visitor, the rainbow sea slug, is usually found in the Mediterranean.
Well, carrying on with the Christmas theme, because Christmas displays are, well, they're always popular, aren't they? And Tony Shepherd and his family enjoy theirs. Look at this. This year, they were actually marking, 25 years of their incredible displays in Marlow. And if you like that, then you're going to love tomorrow's programme. I'm going to be in Morden in South London on what residents claim is London's most Christmassy street. I'm looking forward to going down and seeing if that's actually true. If this is anything to go by, I'm in for a treat. OK.
Our headlines today. Water bills set to rise by an average of at least 20% in England and Wales to fix problems with pollution and shortages. The regulator says it wants to deliver a better service for customers.
It comes as nearly 60,000 homes and businesses in Southampton are without water in the run-up to Christmas. A supply fault could last until the weekend.
Behind the scenes with GPs tackling winter pressures as seasonal viruses take their toll.
Good morning. The Bank of England's expected to hold off cutting interest rates when it announces its latest decision on the cost of borrowing today. I'll look at what it'll mean for your loans and mortgages.
Good morning. In sport, from 1 goal all season to 3 in half an hour. Gabriel Jesus comes to Arsenal's rescue as they make it through to the semi-finals of the League Cup.
What if I told you that in our room there's a hidden door that leads to a secret passage from which you can spy into people's rooms?
A wartime mystery for the famous five, bringing Enid Blyton's classic stories to a new generation this Christmas. Take a look at the papers ahead of Ofwat's decision on water company bills. The Guardian's reporting that Thames Water will be allowed to raise them by more than a third by 2030. And according to the newspaper's source, the firm wanted a 59% increase. Well, we will be talking to Ofwat at 7:15.
So a look at the Express, carrying a photo of King Charles with his brother Prince Andrew. who's pulled out of the royal family's pre-Christmas lunch at Buckingham Palace today. The paper says his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, advised him that it was unwise to attend.
The Mirror's leading on an interview with former English footballer turned commentator Chris Kamara, who was diagnosed with a speech condition, apraxia, in 2022. He's now revealed that he will return to punditry on Boxing Day, saying he's got the old Cammy back. I think lots of people now, at this stage, we're less than a week to Christmas, are thinking about the meal, whether they're on their own or whether they're with family. And, you know, we always say it's just a roast dinner. The traditional dinner is another roast dinner. But people put a lot of extra effort into it, I think. However, have you heard of buffet roulette?
No.
So the Food Safety Watchdog is asking people to be more careful over Christmas, because what happens is you overbuy for Christmas dinner, right? And then there's lots of food left over, and because people are often hosting, you've got a big family, you've got a lot of food, your normal fridge, freezer, maybe the oven, you haven't got room to store the food that's left over. So it's saying that 45% of people are playing buffet roulette by admitting they're more likely to leave food from the fridge out for hours before eating it. And so more than a quarter saying that food that should be put in the refrigerator, they're putting in a garage or on the porch or outside, or a cool box, because they haven't got the space in the fridge. And they're saying, look, this is not good. So, and lots of people saying they don't check use-by dates, which I know is a bit controversial.
Any particular items that are prone to being...
Yeah, so the use-by date thing is 39% admitted they at least occasionally cook raw meat, such as turkey or sausages, past its use-by date. A third of those surveyed, why would you admit this, said they did not always wash their hands before cooking or preparing food at home.
It's getting worse and worse, isn't it?
It's getting really bad. So, the chief scientific advisor at the Food Standards Agency, this is a quote, "Don't be a turkey. Our new data shows that people are taking unnecessary and unavoidable risks in the way they cook, prepare and store food." And they're talking about it in a light-hearted way, but they are saying that there is a serious message underneath. So, tips: freeze any leftovers for future dishes, chill food between meals, and in the fridge, not on the porch or in the garage.
It's a bit awkward if you go around someone's house and you're kind of sniffing the food to check if it's OK, isn't it?
Well, look, if 39% are saying if 33% are saying they haven't washed their hands, it's more awkward going around going, did you wash your hands before you prepared my dinner? It's worrying.
Awkward, isn't it?